Hey, hey. Welcome back, whoever came back. Oh, I think I see Fawcett. Alright, let me switch back over to this fun screen where you get to see my beautiful face. And Google, apparently. What? No, not Google. That's not what I want to see. It looks much more gooder. I need to move some stuff. Oh, hey, Peep Lover. Looks like you're ready to party tonight. Look at all those dinos. Alright, almost ready to start. Just need to do about 40 more things, and then we'll be good to go. Just 40, though. We're ahead of the game. I need to... That's what I need. How's the audio sound tonight, Peep Lover? We sounding good? Am I too loud? Not loud enough? Music too loud? How we doing? Excellent. Okay. I accept your evaluation as well, Jade. Um, what did we do last time? Let's talk about it. We fought Chester and little mini baby Chesters, and um, escaped the volcano. Um, barely, but we made it. Ran down. We were able to each grab a handful of uh, loot, and in doing so, we were able to get free. And while there was plenty more loot we could have grabbed, we decided that our lives were more important than loot. The captain even agreed with that, which is even more fascinating. All right, with that, let's go to this epilogue. We set sail. Uh, the rapier wit makes good time out into the open ocean. The sea spray and whipping wind help clear the last of volcanic stink from your nose and clothes. You are not alone. As Randy, Rain, Opal, and Ribcage stand on deck, breathing deeply. Then the captain claps his hands.
All right, let's see what we've got,
He announces loudly. He points to a group of sailors.
You lot, start hauling that treasure below deck.
They spring into action and start moving the spoils of your adventure into the former brig. Ribcage,
Ribcage, go below and count the tank.
the captain says. Then, with a nod to you, he continues.
Go help him, and keep an eye on the rank and file. Make sure nothing gets pocketed until after they count. They're pirates, after all.
He says the last part loudly enough to be heard across the deck, and the crew portering the loot share a look before continuing with their task. Oh, we got some frame rate challenges tonight, it looks like. You accompany Ribcage below deck, both of you watching the crew members carefully for sticky fingers. The bugbear directs them where to place things, separating coins from jewelry, as well as considerable number of obviously magical items. He finds 2 chairs, a small table, and some writing supplies to begin accounting for all of the treasure. He notices you look. Yes, he says to your assumed question. I am the ship's accountant. A challenging position with the captain's spending habits. Just imagine where we'd be without it. Wait, did I read that right? This is Ribcage? Yeah. He prepares an ink pot and a well-worn pen. After creating a basic ledger, he begins with the coins. I'm seeing this bugbear wearing one of those accountant, like the green, clear green visors with like the little sleeve around the arm. Start doing some real math. Please, he says, gesturing at a chair, have a seat and join me. Shifting his weight on his relatively tiny chair, Ribcage reaches into a back pocket and produces his silver hairbrush. It seems for a moment he's feeling nervous about the task in front of him, but he just sets the brush next to the ledger. Ah, that's better, he says with a warm smile that softens his normally grim face. Today there are many firsts with the hulking bugbear. So we could ask Ribcage how he got his name, or ask why he became a pirate, or I could spend time in silence. How he got his name, why he's a pirate, or say nothing. Name it is. Let's see. He's got his name. 331. As the bugbear continues with his meticulous count of the treasure, you ask him how he got his name. Took a crossbow in the chest for Randy when we first started out. Saved his life. He came up with the name as a medal of honor, so he'd never forget what I did for him. A beat passes. He leans in conspiratorially. You can feel his hot, musky breath on your face. Oof. Like Chewbacca breathing in your face. Plus, my name is actually also Randall. It's a family name. I have at least a dozen other cousins named Randall or Randy or something like that. So the captain was worried before people would get us confused. He moves back, grinning, and it is utterly impossible to tell whether that was a lie or not. Do we want to ask him how he became a pirate, or are we done chatting? I'm going to ask him why he became a pirate. Watching the enormous bear hunched over his ledger and his counting, you ask him what brought him to the pirate life. You know, he says eventually. I never wanted to be a pirate, but when Randy gets an idea, it's very difficult to shake it out of his thick skull. A pile of coins is swept to one side. He marks a tally. When he decided to go out to sea, His mom begged me to go along after him, to make sure he didn't get himself killed. She was always my favorite aunt, so you widen your eyes, and he confirms. Cousins. He's actually older than me, and I always look up to him, uh, metaphorically. Ribcage barrels on. It went surprisingly well. I mean, everyone he meets wants to kill him, but that's par for the course with piracy. But we're pretty well off, and we're not dead yet, and that's about all you can hope for. If you were to join us, there would be many crews you'd be worse off with, you know. He nods off. He nods to himself as though he just said something quite profound, and turned back to his counting. All right, we're gonna finish chatting. Three sets of footsteps thump down the stairs, and you turn to see Randy, Rain, and Opal making their way down into the impromptu vault of the Rapier Wit.
How's it looking, cousin?
He asks. So far, 3,715 gold and 409 platinum pieces, he says. Some assorted jewels and jewelry that will need to be appraised. And then all of these. He waves a beefy paw at several piles of items that are clearly magical, though their functions aren't clear. Rain approaches the piles with unveiled curiosity, trailing the remaining handover parts of the collection. Oh, Rain, the remaining hand over the. Okay, that was throwing me off. Not sure I've ever seen so much magic in one place before, they say.
Opal, you recognize any of these?
The captain asks. His first mate approaches the seemingly random pile of gear. I do, actually, she says. Quite the collection. A little something for everyone. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
A bonus for the officers? Of course.
Randy turns to you.
You go ahead and take the first pick. We never would have made it here without you.
The four pirates turn to you and see what you'll pick from the first pile. Oh. Do I want a ring of jumping or a brooch of shielding? Ring of jumping. While wearing this ring, you can cast the jump spell from it as a bonus action at will, but can target only yourself when you do so. Or brooch of shielding. While wearing this brooch, you have resistance to force damage, and you have immunity to damage from the magic missile spell. Oh. I mean, I'm a monk. Yeah, they both are good, but I'm a monk, so the jump would also probably be really good for a monk. Get that distance. But brooch of shielding, resistance to force, and immunity to magic missile. I'm going to have to go with, I don't know. This is the hardest part of this game, making decisions. Oh, that's a good point. What is it's? Let's look at jump. While wearing the ring, you can cast the jump spell. Okay, yeah, I know that. But what is the jump spell? Touch a creature. The creature's distance is tripled. Jump distance is tripled until the spell ends. So normally, jump distance is with a running start. I think it's 10 feet plus your... Oh, I think it's 10 plus your dex mod. Your strength modifier. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the brooch. Is that a real item or is that... Oh, thank goodness I don't have to create it. It already exists. Choose one of the following magic items to add to your inventory. Oh, there's... I picked too early. Oh, and bag of holding, always good. There's more items. Belt of Dwarven Kind. Dark Vision, which I already have. Can speak, read, and write Dwarvish. Con score goes up by 2. Advantage on Persuasion. Tune to the spell, you have 50% chance. Oh. This is roll 20. You pay for the books. So like the compendium here, you pay for each book that you add. But you can also add items manually. So if you were to not pay for the books, you can get all the info elsewhere. They have recently created this new format of, like, the character sheet used to look like this. This is what I'm used to looking at. And it's got all your stats and all your inventory right there. They recently updated it. Kind of feels a little more similar to Beyond D&D, or D&D Beyond. And yeah, so it's a little cleaner look to it now. I'm still trying to learn my way around it. Though with Roll20, there's also an extension called Beyond 20, which allows you to sync up a character sheet here with a character sheet over in D&D Beyond. So I know that you guys use D&D Beyond for your character sheet currently, but if you were interested in switching to Roll20, you can use it to connect them. Fuel for thought. I'm happy to chat with you later on if interested. But that's not exciting content. Boots of Speed is also pretty cool. Boots double your walking speed, and any creature that makes an opportunity attack against you has disadvantage. If they make make an opportunity attack against you, they have disadvantage on the attack roll. So I could go up to them, punch them. Yeah, well, we can take this convo offline. Be happy to discuss pros and cons, my opinion. Take it offline. I feel like I'm at work. Come on now. Boots of Speed, because I could go charge in, punch, 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 leave. They have a disadvantage on hitting me. And if I, what is it? Double my walking speed? So my walking speed currently is 30, so I'd have 60 speed. I could punch, get out of their movement range. All right, I need help. Boots of speed or the brooch of shielding. Because I can do the triple punch. That was that bonus action. You can use the bonus action and click the boots. For 10 minutes I get... Yeah, I'm going to have to say boots of speed. Those... I think for the monk that makes way more sense. So I need to remove the brooch. I agree. I agree, Peep. Now let's go back to my inventory. Yeah, because like if they're right up next to me, I do triple punch, run away, and then I can be up to 60 feet away from them. And I think I have another feat or something that allows me to. Hold on, one thing at a time. Slow your roll. Brooch of shielding. Where does it show up in my inventory? Brooch of shielding. Remove item. There we go. Not attuned yet. Still need to attune. Um, because I have something else that does something with my speed too, I think. Step of the wind. I can take a key point to disengage. And your jump distance is doubled for that. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna teleport in, punch, teleport out. Yeah, boots of speed. That's what I'm going with. If you don't select any of these, you can take a pouch of 25 platinum. Nah. After you've made your selection, your 4 companions take turns choosing from what remains. Good choice, Opal says to you. Now, on to the next set. What's it going to be? Choose from the following to add your inventory. Oh, there's more? Uh, Cloak of Elven Kinds, always good. Bracers of Defense. Oh, the Bracers of Defense. So I can't wear armor. Uh, so the armor's kind of out. Glamour Changer. Use this same... I think... You can also use a bonus action to speak the armor's command word and cause the armor to assume the appearance of a normal set of clothing. Interesting. While you wear this, so the Cloak of Elven Kind, while you wear this cloak with its hood up, wisdom perception checks made to see you have disadvantage. You have advantage on dex checks made to hide. So the cloak's color shifts to camouflage. Pulling the hood up or down requires an action. While wearing these bracers, the bracers of defense, you gain a +2 bonus to AC if you are wearing no armor and using no shield. I'm a monk. I'm not allowed to wear armor. That kind of bracers of defense kind of seems... It's very barbarian and monk friendly. Use the same stats as a chain shirt plus while wearing this While wearing this armor, you gain an additional +1 bonus to AC. Let's see, is this or... This might be a... Yeah. I don't know if that counts as armor. Yeah, it's armor. Okay, I can't wear that. I think I'm going to be going with this stalwart shield. This wooden shield gives +2 to your AC when held, and you can cast the shield spell once. It's pretty awesome, but I don't shield. I don't block. Darn. Um, Braziers of Defense. I've got to do it. Didn't add it. There we go. Not yet attuned. All right. They're just looting us up like crazy. If you don't want any of these, you can instead take a coin-sized round cut emerald worth 450 gold. No. Once you've made your choice, go to 336.
I was hoping for that one,
Randy says to you.
but fair enough. There's no shortage of consolation prizes.
The four pick from among the remaining items for themselves. One last pile to go through, Rain says, their eyes shining. Go ahead. I know which one I want. Choose one of the following to add to your inventory. Oh my gosh. Cautious dagger. When you have this dagger in hand, gain advantage on initiative. Oh my gosh. Is a longsword two-handed? So longsword is simple. It looks like it might be. Who's texting? Uh, I don't know if I want something as big as a katana. I think the dagger might be good. Bow, staff of the mimic, efficient quiver. I think I'm gonna have to go with the cautious dagger. Is that a real item is the question. I doubt it is. It is not. So I gotta create that one. Add a handout. Cautious dagger. Maybe I'll get some ChatGPT to help me with an image for that. Oh, I can't. All right, I'll type it. Dagger in hand. Gain and that's something I'm gonna absolutely forget every time. Is the advantage. See you later, Peep. Add an item. What's the name of the item? Cautious Dagger. Requires attunement. It's equipable. What's the value? The value is going to be 600 gold. Copy. Add weapon data. So pull up the dagger +1. It's melee. It is a simple dagger. Choose a modifier. On initiative. Oh, sweet. That is a cool new feature. Where is that dagger? If I attune to it, does my cautious dagger show up yet? No, it does not. Let's go back to it. Weapon type dagger. How do I add? Weapon categories. Melee. It's dagger. Cautious dagger. Oh, maybe that's what I was missing. Go to combat. Cautious dagger over here in combat yet? Add an attack. Ah, here we go. It's an action. Linked weapon. Caution's dagger. Oops. Proficiency. I'm proficient in it. Ability override. I think I used Dex on my attacks. Let's say I know what I can do. I can look at my old character sheet. That'll tell me. I know this is super fun and exciting to watch. But hopefully they don't give me that many more items. Dexterity plus proficiency. Okay. Proficient plus dexterity. But it's a +1, so I think there needs to be a +1 right here. Time attack repeats. 0. Damage type is piercing. Damage type is piercing. Dex again. Okay. +1. Sweet. Hope you're able to enjoy or have fun tonight, because you're on the potentially finale of your session too, right? Because you're fighting the spoilers. It's only a D4 of damage. Meh. Now, the more I think about it, now it sounds like we're talking about a vehicle's spoiler. And now that seems like not a good thing to fight. You'll probably lose that battle. All right. Okay, back to the story.
Wonderful,
Randy says. His smile ticks momentarily into a slightly manic grin.
What a rush! Ribcage, once you're done with the final count, set aside enough for expenses and then divvy the rest up among the crew.
Expense and debts, Ribcage asks warily.
Is there enough?
The captain asks, gazing over the pile of treasure.
Well, fine, I suppose. Seems like such a shame, though. I was hoping.
Land ho! Comes from a cry from above deck.
Ho ho ho! Randy shouts. Are we there already? I've been looking forward to this.
He shepherds you and your companions above deck to the rail. What is it, Captain? Rain asks.
That's what we're here for.
Randy excitedly points to the outcropping of rock jutting up from the sea.
Duck Island.
The island that has come into view on the starboard side of the ship is unusual for the one massive rock outcropping on it that you can be. The one massive rock outcropping on it that could be mistaken for nothing other than a skull. What is much more unusual, however, is the massive white duck that appears to be nesting on the top of the skull. Rain seems confused. Shouldn't it be called skull?
Don't tell the duck,
Randy interrupts. This again, Captain? Opal asks. Don't you remember what happened last time we passed Duck Island?
It's worth it, Randy says. This is a true wonder of the seas. And who knows when we'll next have a chance to see it.
Ribcage rests a heavy hand on his shoulder. He quietly says in your ear, "Whatever you do, don't provoke the duck." What? As if it heard the grim warning, the duck's head slowly turns to regard the rapier's wit.
Quack.
Everyone freezes where they stand. Even the waves seem quieter, with the only sound being a faint clicking from Rain's mechanical arm. Oh, all right. Here's what are we doing? Are we intimidating the duck, soothing the duck, or ignoring the duck? I'm doing whatever you guys tell me to do. So choose wisely. Jaded, you got soothing. You don't make that duck angry. Faucet, what are you saying? Maybe lick the duck? Should we lick the duck? So, all right, licking the duck, is that, yeah, is that soothing or is that intimidating? That's the real question. Is licking the duck soothing or is that a performance check? That might be a performance check. Sleight of tongue. You gotta get that sleight of tongue roll. Uh, yeah, you both have said soothing, so I'm gonna go with soothing. Oh, I will keep that in mind because that's where I'm going next. Is to Zaleth. Uh, you gaze at the duck and get nothing back except pure malice. When its feathers start to bristle, you try to placate the animal. It'll never work, Opal says, though you can see the hope in her eyes that you will be able to calm this bird. Roll a wisdom animal handling check. 8 of 18. Oh my god. Do I have... Ah, yeah, inspiration. So I'm going to roll at advantage. Sweet. Come on. It's the best roll I've ever done. Oh, this is the worst roll I've ever done. Does it sink our ship? Failing to de-escalate, you look at the duck and see pure, unbridled rage. The white waterfowl narrows its eyes and jettisons itself off its rock. Wing pumping, it flies straight at the rapier wit, croaking its raspy battle cry.
Drop to full sail!
The captain yells,
No!
crew members scramble about deck and Rain scampers up the main mast into the rigging. Ribcage removes his enormous warhammer from his back as Opal barks a spell, flinging bolts of energy at the enraged duck. You ready yourself for battle as the sails drop and catch the wind. The canvas sheets above snap full, and the ship lurches beneath your feet as if it's picked up speed. In response to your newfound speed, the duck lets out a final warning quack as it banks and returns to its perch.
Thank the gods! Really breathes. Oh.
He tips his hat back toward Duck Island.
Until next time.
A loud, threatening quack rings out over the sea. I was never ever that scared before. We've seen Duck Island, Opal says. Are you ready to chart a course now, Captain?
Indeed,
The captain says with a smile.
right after a soak in that tub. Never got a chance under that prig Solaris.
Rain drops into the middle of your cluster. You may have to wait a little longer, Captain. Sail's approaching.
Who is it?
Randy demands. You wouldn't believe me, Rain says, handing the captain a spyglass. Uh, the goblin props the spyglass up on a banister, and once he finds the ship, he gasps. He looks again and readjusts the spyglass. Who is it, Captain? Opal asks. She cranes her neck in the direction of sails just appearing on the horizon.
I don't believe it,
he breathes. What do we do, Captain? Opal asks, squinting into the distance. Make a run for it?
Bring us around on an intercept course,
Randy calls out. Then he says quietly to himself,
I have to see this up close.
That was definitely goose behavior. You're right, Fawcett. The rapier wit turns, and as the distance closes, you can see that the approaching ship is a ragged collection of mismatched woods, its sails patched in multiple colors, and the captain's cabin is an actual cabin built on the aft deck. I can't believe it, Opal says, staring at the approaching vessel. How does it even stay afloat? As the ship nears, you can see its crew, diminutive, scaly figures with spines bristling from their heads. It's impossible to tell exactly how many as they erratically rush about on deck, even diving into the water and climbing aboard. Brine fins! Rain cries. What are you doing, Captain?
That's not all,
he says, pointing.
Look at the rest of the crew.
Rain shades their eyes as Randy hands you a spyglass. You see a muscular man with a red coat and thick white beard. Yes! A woman with red hair in what appears to be an altered pink gown. Oh, man. And a despondent man in a vest pushing around a mop and sporting a still magnificent mustache. Francis! Rain shouts, and the bearded man lifts a hand in greeting. Saphira? And Solaris? The ships close the distance, and Randy is grinning. You suspect there may even be tears of joy in the corners of his eyes. Permission to come aboard, Captain Sharpsmile, the former porter calls from his ship.
Granted. Get up here, Captain. Captain
Whitebeard. Ropes are tossed back and forth, and the two ships tie themselves up. Captain Whitebeard comes aboard the Rapier Wit with his crew. Alright, you can ask what happened after Flotsam, congratulate Francis on his new career, or stay silent and let the others talk. Well, we're gonna start by going, what happened? You ask the newly minted captain what happened after Flotsam. Francis or Whitebeard can't contain his glee at recounting the tale. Well, for starters, I met these little rascals. He tosses the fin atop a nearby brine fin like he would a child's hair. And it turns out they aren't so bad. A bit directionless. Needed a firmer hand. They took to discipline quite well. Francis practically raised me, Saphira laughs, but I never saw this side of him. Daddy would have had him whipped if he ever said no to me. Indeed, Francis says, and look where that got you, Miss Saphira. When I got to Brigand's Bay, you were a scullery maid. 3 whole days, Saphira says to you, holding up 3 fingers. It was a nightmare. Thank goodness, Francis. I mean, Captain Whitebeard arrived when he did.
But how did he free you?
Randy asks, still all smiles. Saphira laughs, not demurely, but from the belly. He brought the brine fins to Eldir's jewelry shop and wouldn't take them back without me.
And what about him?
Rain asks, pointing, and what about him? Rain asks, pointing at Solaris with their mechanical arm. He was part of the deal, Saphira says. Eldir would only let me go if Francis also took Solaris. I was the captain of this ship once, Solaris grumbles. Why would I have to push a mop around?
He tried to order the other servants around, didn't he?
Randy winks at the former captain of the Sundancer. Saphira nods, hiding her laugh behind a hand. But he is working his way up, Francis says. He puffs his chest up with pride. He has already been promoted from chamber pots to swabbing the deck. Solaris shudders and turns a little green, but is quickly distracted by the brine fin pulling at his clothes and chattering something at him. Well, congratulations, Francis. You congratulate Francis on his new role as the ship's captain. Thank you, he beams. It's everything I've dreamed it could be. Everything? Saphira asks, eyeing the chaos of the brine fin scampering about the rapier wit. A little chaos never hurt anyone, Miss Saphira, he says. Does that mean you resign your commission as first mate? Not on your life, old man, she replies with a crooked smile. I plan to inherit this tub when you die of old age, probably next week.
So, are you pirates now?
Randy asks.
Are you the new competition?
Not so much, Francis says. Excuse me. Not so much, Francis says. We are more of a salvage operation. The brine fins know the location of many shipwrecks. They likely caused a few, Stellaris remarks from the side. Francis cuts the captain-turned-deckhand a look, and Solaris fell silent. They just never knew the value of what they found. We're just making our rounds now. Impressive, Rain says. Found anything interesting? Francis winks. Ah, trade secret. Looking to Saphira, you see her mime locking her smiling lips. Solaris just shrugs.
Fair enough,
Randy says with a wave of his hand.
I wouldn't tell a pirate either.
Alright, let's let the others continue. You let the others talk and laugh, telling stories of the last few days. Your own Captain Sharpsmile recounts your adventure on Oki Island with barely any embellishment. Wow, that's pretty good for him. On his side, Francis tells about how he quickly trained his crew of rambunctious sea creatures. He had them mostly housebroken when the people of Flotsam started to return. He put the brine fins to work cleaning up their mess, and as a thank you to the mayor of Flotsam, gifted them a ramshackle ship.
Old Felix did that for you, eh?
Randy asks.
There had to be some catch.
I think that he just wanted the brine fins gone, Francis chuckles. That's absolutely the case, you old fool, Saphira adds warmly. The brine fins run amok on the deck of the ship, to the general mirth of the pirate crew of the Rapier Wit. Solaris tries to find a place to mope, even moving to the bow to look forlornly over the tub he built.
Let's continue this in my cabin,
Randy suggests. He leads the way, pulling something from a cabinet by the door.
Solaris.
Captain Sharpsmile barks. The former captain jumps and turns toward the scowling goblin in the door.
Told you I left it back on the ship.
Randy is shaking an elegant bottle that shines with its own inner light.
Join us for a drink?
My star glimmers wine! You! Solaris' face darkens with anger for a moment. Then he relaxes. Yes, I would like a drink. Opal and Saphira share a smirk as the now deckhand follows you all into the captain's cabin. The star-glimmered wine is delicious in an indescribable way and provides the perfect refreshment after a long voyage at sea. The conversation lulls into a companionable quiet, each person lapsing into a private reverie. When the last of the wine is finished, Randy turns to Francis and Saphira.
So what's next?
We're making our way toward the continent, the elderly captain says. We'll pull into port, put our feet up, show the crew what civilized manners look like. To punctuate his wish, there is a crash and a brine-fin snarl from outside the cabin's door. It's followed by cheers and guffaws from the pirates. Saphira smiles and Solaris cringes.
That's perfect,
your captain says as he turns to you.
This is where we part ways, my friend. We are going to drop you off ourselves, but if Captain Whitebeard is already on his way, then that gets us on our way that much faster.
Where are we going, Captain? Opal asks.
To sea,
he cries with a wild grin.
It's the Rapier's wet purpose to sail, the whole reason for its existence. A ship in the harbor is nothing but scenery.
But where? Rain asks again, looking around to the rest of the collected crew. Ribcage lays a hand over Rain's shoulder and gives them a little pat. He shrugs, then nods with a sage smile.
Exactly, cousin. Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, there's one final matter of business.
Randy turns on you and pulls a knife from his belt, brandishing it at you. There's a collective gasp from the rest of the room. But then the goblin flips the knife in his grip and presents the handle to you. Opal snorts with barely contained laughter.
We have a little tradition that when crew members leave, they carve their names in the mast. I'd be honored to take your name with us.
Oh, yeah. I'll absolutely do that. You take the knife and go out on deck. As the pirate crew sees you emerge with the knife, they go quiet. When the brine fins take no heed and continue their noisy running about, Saphira places 2 fingers between her lips and blows along a piercing whistle. The aquatic monsters freeze and all eyes turn to you. You walk in silence to the mast, and the only sound is the noise of you carving into the wood of the mast until you finish. A cheer goes up around the crew, or at least everyone except Solaris, who looks pained at what you've just done to the ship.
You're one of us now,
Randy says as he claps you on the back.
A pirate through and through.
When you offer Randy his knife back, he waves it off.
Keep it. It's not much good as a weapon, but it works brilliantly as a keepsake.
Add Captain Randall's Sharp Smile's knife to your inventory. Inventory. Oh, thank you, Jaded. Just saw that you left. Everyone back to the ship, Francis calls out. Let's go, you little monsters. You pile onto the patchwork ship while Randy, Opal, Rain, and Ribcage stand waving at the rail. The Rapier Wit pulls away toward the open ocean, while Captain Whitebeard takes command of the wheel of his vessel, feet firmly planted on the deck and face pointing toward the future, piloting you onward to your next adventure. And I level up. Whoop, whoop. All right. But you're still here, about to start your own stream, though. Yeah, why are you still here? You should not be here. Shoo. I'll see you in a few. What do I get here? Starting at third level, you can use a reaction to deflect or catch the missiles when you are hit by a ranged weapon attack. Reduced by 1d10 plus my dex, plus my monk level. Holy crap. Uh, that's pretty awesome. You spend one key point or more as part of your action. On your turn, you can make one attack with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon as a bonus action before the end of your turn. If you spend a key point or more as a part of your action on your turn, unarmed strike. Oh. Way of the Drunken Master. Dagger, I guess, is what I'll choose, since I just got a dagger. Apparently I didn't select these before. Could have sworn I did. Explorer's Pack. All right. Build. Level 3 Tabaxi. But I should have more health than that. Let's solve that before that becomes a problem. Player handbook. Let's look at that monk. I always take average on health. Hit dice 1. Oh. 8 plus my con modifier. So my first level I had 9 health. So I should be gaining... I just had 15 though, I thought. Yeah, so it should be 20. Oops, not that button. Drinks in motion. So I have 20 now. Did I tweak it? Oh, that's why. All right, I'm now level 3. Meaning I now have 3 key points. That'll help. So now I can also deflect missiles. Reaction. I can use my reaction to deflect a missile. When you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus my dex. So plus 3 plus 6. Wow. Does that do just the d10? I don't know if that'll work or not. But we're going to try right now. All right. And with that, I'm going to call it. Thank you, everybody who was here. I'm going to go hang out with... let's go hang out with... our next adventure is going to be a side mission on the way to the Crystals of Zeleth. But beforehand, I am going to try to raid. I've done this a couple times. See if I'm any good at it yet. I think it's just me raiding, but, you know, whatevs. It's fun. Where's my button? Okay, I think I'm ready.